Hello there, my name is Caroline, and welcome to Caroline's Handmaids. Today is Wednesday, April 9th, and I am working from home, but I took a little break to make this quick video. This is a video about, excuse me, the Fabric Wheel of Fate. I think this is hosted by Carole from So Carole, and a number of sewers have joined in on this challenge, the Fabric Wheel of Fate. I will link Carole's video in here. This was a while ago, but I'm like the last person I think on this bandwagon or this challenge. So, you know, I was just delayed due to life, but I don't think there's a deadline. So I thought let me just continue instead of giving up on it. So, in the Fabric Wheel of Fate, we chose a bunch of fabric. In my case, I chose 7 pieces of fabric that were in my stash, or that were in my stash for a long time, or the ones that I thought that I would not probably sew up and would just sit in my stash. And I put it in a pile. I numbered them, and I'll try and put a link to this video, the video where I did introduce my fabrics, also in the comments. And then, so my first spin where I put post-it notes in this vase, and then I just picked up one post-it note, and that happened to be number one for my first Fabric Wheel of Fate. So the number one was this. I hope you can see it properly. This was a rayon. I think, yes, it is a rayon. And I purchased this from none other than Fabric Mart Fabrics. And, I made a mistake making this dress. Now, my mistake was I did not pre wash this fabric. Uh, I am not sure if I did or not, but I think I didn't. But then again, in hindsight, when I think of it, there was a lot of fraying, so I think I washed it. So this was actually a beautiful, buttery soft fabric from Fabric Mart Fabrics. I think this was a deal of $1 a yard or 1.99. I'm one of those two, and it was in my stash. And the reason why I pulled it out was because of maybe the color that I would probably keep putting it off, and also the big, large print that looked very tropically. And I actually wear my dresses. As you, if you follow me on Instagram at Caroline's Handmaids, I actually post the days I go to the office. I post what I wear to work. So I wear only me maids to work. Well, because I'm most happy and most comfortable in me maids. I love the fit of my garments. I just feel good wearing my clothes, and I'm really happy doing that. So here's that. So the fabric was a rayon, beautiful, buttery, soft fabric, and I chose to make the Seamwork Baker dress. I have it up here. I'll put a picture also, but I'll bring it closer to the camera. It's the Seamwork Baker dress. What attracted me to the dress was the loose, flowy, nothing holding, cinching in my waist. I kind of like the look of the flowy dresses. It's so comfortable for spring, the warmer spring, and also the summer. And I also like the length of this dress because I usually wear, no matter what the weather is, I usually wear pantyhose because of all the scarring I have on my legs because of last year's cellulitis infection that left a lot of scarring and hyperpigmentation on my legs. So I always wear that. But then I thought the length of this too in the summer would not, I would not have to, I could get away without wearing a pantyhose that would cover up all my scarring. And if I can, I don't know if I can show you the length of this. Let me see. Yep, there you go. See there? It's pretty long. So that that's the length of it. Okay. So the Seamwork Baker, what attracted me to this pattern was also it didn't look like it had too many pieces, you know. It had the front yoke, and this is a self lined, and it had a back yoke too, so which is, I is doubled, self lined or whatever. And I love the sleeves, and then it has these panels on the side that go. They had an interesting way of installing the side panels. um if I can talk about this pattern real quick, the Seamwork Baker, I made a size 10 for the Seamwork Baker, where the finished garment measurements were, well, the body measurements for the bust was 38 and a half, and the hip was 40, but the finished garment measurements excuse me, for the bust was 45 and a half, 45 and 1/8. I thought it was a lot, but then I liked the ease and I put it on. And that's why I went with the body measurements. Usually I would go for the finished garment measurement, but since this was a loose or fitting garment, I just thought there was so much of a difference between the actual body measurement and the bust finished garment measurements. I just thought, let me just go with the body measurements, and it turned out perfect. I didn't wear it as yet because it's not warm as yet in Maryland. Um, but when it's warmer, I will wear this dress probably next week or the week after. And when I come back with my second fabric wheel of fate garment, I will put a picture up and I will post it on my Instagram when I do wear it. I hope I get to wear it next week or the week after. Everything went well with this dress, except when it came to installing this right here. I am not sure if I can. Let me bring this mannequin closer to you. Um, there is a panel here. You see between the the front yoke and the back yoke and this shoulder here, there is a panel that goes all the way down to the floor. They actually have you sandwich kind of this panel with the yoke, and I'm not sure if I'm using correct terminology and correct words here. I'm really not good with this, but I struggled so much with their instruction. I actually got so frustrated that I gave up. I let it sit for a couple of days. I even emailed the help email at Seamwork and did not get a response. Now, I'm just saying that. I'm just being so open and honest, okay? I did not get a response. I looked, I said, wait, it's been 2 days. I still haven't received a response from Seamwork because it says that you have a free sew along with this dress. I went to their website, I logged into my account, and I tried. Okay, if somebody does subscribe to Seamwork or has this pattern and knows how to get with the sew along, please let me know, because I just feel like a big bozo, literally, because I couldn't find it. I could not find the sew along, even though the pattern picture right there is sew along available. What I found was a sew along for the option of where you want to put gathers there or some, those pleats. oh my gosh, I was so frustrated. So I took a 2 day break and came down again to it. Now, when I take a break, I don't like to do other things. I just like it frustrates me so much that I start to think of other, just don't. So, so let me just show you what frustrated me. So this is the side panel right here. Okay, the two side panels. So you kind of fold it right sides together and sew it up at the shoulder. That's easy. Now this is the second step that got me frustrated. Excuse me. Mm. And then you take the front bodice, the front whole thing, the middle um, section, and you roll it over. I almost thought that was a burrito method, but it wasn't like a burrito method. I emailed Seamwork and I said, this is like a burrito method, but it doesn't make sense. Okay. And then once you do that, then you sandwich the inside into one of the sides, right? And then I got stuck after that because it did not make sense on how to end up with this finished product. I could not get, okay, I know I'm not explaining this correctly, but it was so, I've been sewing for some time. It did not make sense. It did not, especially for an indie pattern, that indie patterns tend to hold your hand or give you more instructions. Not, if I put that correctly, gives more detailed instructions. I was lost. It took me a couple of days, like I said, and then I came to the sewing room, put it on the sewing table, really went slow. I said, I'm overthinking this, probably overthinking this, which I find, excuse me, my kitty cat wants to go out and is just like pulling at the door, and I think she'll get her claw stuck in there. Give me 1 second. I'm back. Anyway, so that was where I was stuck. I ended up sewing it. I figured it out if I took it really slow. I said I'm not overthinking that, but I was pretty disappointed for a indie pattern to not give more instructions than usually I am used to getting with cashmere, love notions, itch to stitch. I'm not saying all seamwork patterns are that way. I'm just saying my experience with the Baker dress. I've made other seamwork patterns, which was fine. That is my story. In the end, I actually, now that I'm done venting to you all, I'm literally venting. So, that being said, I love the dress. I will make it again. Let me show you, perhaps I can show you how the inside is, also how, okay, sorry. So this is the back, inside the back, you know, it's there. I put my label in, and I ran out of, I don't know what, I usually keep scraps of fabric just in case I need it for something, and I looked like I threw it. So I did not have enough fabric to make the hook. The so Anyway, so I just used a ribbon, matching ribbon, to make that button hook, and this is the front. And this is the front of the dress. It has quite a deep V, but then it has, you know, the ties that kind of close it, because I wore it and it doesn't really show anything. It really, it perfectly lands where it needs to land, the opening. So that is my Seamwork Baker and my Fabric Wheel of Fate #1. Now let me spin this, toss it in here. I'll toss the salad of post-it notes, And let's see what I pick. Toss, toss, toss. Okay, let's see what I pick. All right. Oh, I picked two. All right, let's see. I picked this one. And it's, oh my gosh, it's number three. I was hoping that it did fall on number three. That's number three. And let me see which one. I actually know which one is number three, but let me. Why did I pick the one I don't? That's usually what happens, right? When you pick the one that you don't want. This is number three. This is a shirting fabric. And it's a pink or peachy kind. I don't know how to show it to you. Okay, on this cream slash white background. I don't know what I'm going to make. When I pull this out, I was thinking of a shirt for my husband, right? Because I don't think I would wear this, but it's a perfect shirting material that I picked up at Fabric Mart Fabrics for $1. I have enough for a shirt. So I think that's what it's going to be. I actually want to try um, a wardrobe by me shirt pattern. I think they have nice patterns for men's shirts. I was also thinking about the Love Notions Bandcamp shirt, men's Bandcamp shirt, but then that's more of a summery. I get the summery vibe with that shirt, and my husband prefers a more fitted shirt. So I think the wardrobe by me will work, or one of the Simplicity or McCall's patterns. So that is going to be my Fabric Wheel of Fate number two. So stay tuned. I do not know how long it's going to take me to make it, but I will make it and get back to you. And I will see you on Friday, hopefully with Friday Sews. Take care. Bye bye. And have a good rest of the week. Bye bye.